LogRx and the Sacramento Fire Department have partnered on the whole blood tracking process to help save our community. Whole blood tracking is new in emergency medical services, relatively speaking, primarily because it helps shorten that time span for trauma victims when they get injured in the field and they're bleeding out to the time to get to the emergency room and the surgeon and start getting whole blood. Now we're able to provide that on scene with paramedics, so it shortens that golden hour, which they call it, from the time of injury till the time of intervention. And so getting whole blood to the pre-hospital setting is huge. And so here at LogRx, we're able to help facilitate that and make it happen for local fire departments and departments across the country. One of the ways we're helping the Sacramento Fire Department accomplish their whole blood tracking process and the blood treatment in the field is by showing that the blood is kept at a certain temperature from the time it leaves the pharmacy throughout its lifespan. That's critical because blood has to stay between a certain temperature range, and if it goes outside that, it's no good. And it's not just a waste of a resource, but that's someone's donation of a blood that's going to help save a life that's now gone to waste. And so LogRx is helping make sure that never occurs, and it helps justify this program with the Sacramento Fire Department. So starting a blood program or a blood products program with any kind of first responder agency is a huge challenge because it's not something you can just order from a vendor. You have to go to a pharmacy, work with physicians and pharmacists to make sure that they're going to trust you with this product that isn't necessarily easy to get. You can't just manufacture it. And so justifying that is extremely difficult. And so one of the things that we're able to help agencies do is show that once they take possession of these products, it's going to be well taken care of. And we help them do that. All right, so despite what a lot of people think, being progressive is actually more difficult for some organizations. And stepping into a realm of blood products to help treat in the field is no small endeavor. And so by us partnering with the Sacramento Fire Department, they're taking this risky step that they don't have to do, but they know it's what's best for the community. And so by taking these steps, working with their staff, getting the training going, partnering with organizations like us, they're able to launch this program with success. It's only been around since October. They've already saved a couple lives.
Thank you for coming out. This is something that's brand new to our agency. I don't want to get into the weeds of it. I'm going to have Dr. Mackey explain that because this is his baby. He's worked extremely hard on this with our EMS division and a lot of good partnerships to make this happen.
Good morning. My name is Kevin Mackey. I'm the medical director for Sacramento Fire Department. I've had that honor for a number of years. For more than 50 years, the only solution that paramedics had to support low blood pressure from bleeding was salt water. They also carry a medication which can support the body's natural mechanisms when the body's bleeding, but that medication does not replace blood, and it also does not support blood pressure. In October 2021, the city of New Orleans launched the country's first pre-hospital transfusion program, and in that year, they cut their death rate from violent crime, meaning shootings and stabbings, in half. Moving a blood bank from a hospital to the back of an ambulance is a pretty significant step, and it takes a lot of attention to detail. In September 2024, the state of California authorized blood to be carried in the pre-hospital environment in the back of ambulances. To date, there are only 5 fire departments in the state of California carrying blood products. On October 12, 2025, the Sacramento Fire Department became the first in Northern California. Currently, we carry blood on 4 frontline units, 2 quick response vehicles like the ones you see behind me, and 2 ambulances as you see down the row here. Blood products. In addition, I would like to acknowledge a local company called LogRx, and the CEO, Clive Savicle, is here today, who has provided a platform for our firefighters to perform daily checks and safety checks of our blood products that they are carrying. This app logs the date and timestamps it, as well as GPS marks it, and complete with photographs, so daily we can make sure that the blood we are carrying is still useful for humans. In addition, I would like to acknowledge a grant provided by the urban areas on a continual basis, and also communicates continuous temperatures so we don't lose control of that blood and it expires or gets too warm. But to actually administer the blood involves some blood tubing. This is called LifeFlow. It's a device that we use in our ambulances to actually administer the blood. I'm going to bring up a couple of firefighters and we're going to actually demonstrate how to use this device. It's right here up on the table. They'll walk through it and I'll narrate for them. Guys underneath there, they're sailing. Step in setting this up is they open up this bag, as they will get this tubing. This tubing is designed to go into the saline, which we carry in the back for ambulances. So when they spike that saline and they've closed both clamps, and they leave the one to the saline open. So you open up the one to the saline, and then you're going to flood the chamber down below. So this chamber down below has got to be flooded with saline before they can do anything. There's many safety features built into this tubing. There's a filter in there, which is required for blood. There's a pressure compensating device as well. And then he's going to use the saline and he's going to load this device. It takes him about 4 squeezes. Every squeeze is 10 cc's. So he'll get this whole tubing primed, and when he is ready to give the blood, he will clamp off the saline side and we are ready to give blood. And this is what I really want you to pay attention to. See how fast the blood moves through this tubing with every squeeze. It takes 5 squeezes and blood is moving into the vein of the patient that's suffering from shock. It will take our first trauma victim that we gave blood to, it took 72 seconds to give an entire unit of blood. The next victim was 75 seconds. It takes just over a minute to administer a unit of blood. And the important thing is if we can start this in the pre-hospital environment, it decreases mortality by over 40%. So if we can start this in the field, rather than wait to get to the hospital, we're going to double our survival rate from severe traumatic injuries and hemorrhagic shock.
The way the Sacramento Fire Department has already used LogRx was proper documentation, which is how they justify this program. And so when there was a missing element after administering whole blood to a patient, they were able to go back and review the LogRx information to be able to fill in the blanks to show the progress they've been making. So with the LogRx program and our partnership with the Delta coolers, which contain the blood and keep them at that exact temperature they need to be at, our program monitors that temperature through what's called an API. And it's basically our system talking to their system, so that from their phone at any given point, they're able to see what the most recent temperature was. And then when they do their inventory checks, they're also able to take pictures of the blood and show that it's present, the correct serial numbers, and all that information is accurate. And so they can simply look at their phone to see what the last records were, or the administrator who's overseeing the entire program, Dr. Mackey, he can look at his phone at any point and see each one of those 4 units and what the temperature most recently tracked was. So like anything in life, reward typically mirrors the effort. And so even though something like this might seem like a big endeavor, it might be a big challenge, you have to convince a lot of different people, different organizations to go along with it and support it, it's well worth it. Sacramento Fire has already saved 2 lives, and it's only been in place a few months. And you can't put a price on that. And so for any agency interested in doing this, honestly, you can reach out to us. You can reach out to Dr. Mackey at Sacramento Fire Department. It's well worth the effort, and your community is going to thank you. The background on why we partner with the Sacramento Fire Department to track whole blood and help make sure that program is a success. But what we found is we've already developed the technology with developing and tracking narcotics. And so we knew that we'd be able to help save lives, or help the fire department save lives, with the use of our program. Having been a paramedic and a firefighter for over 25 years, it was great for me to be able to then work with our team to help give back. And so for LogRx, it's a way of taking advantage of what we've built, adapting it to whole blood products, and working with our local fire department to really make a success and make a positive impact on our community.